Confess all over.
All right. I'm going to have a confession.
Tell me
So,
everything.
all right. Episode 92. And I know that we're now in 95. So this is like in the past. And if you're listening you're like, wow, that's really a long time ago. So episode 92, I produced all myself. I did everything all on my own. And I felt pretty amazing about it because when I first
As you
started doing
should.
it, I didn't know how to do any of it. I was like, podcast producing. But I did it all myself, and I had to because, quite frankly, we couldn't afford to pay anybody. Couldn't pay my editor anymore. So, and I was thinking to myself, well, when you can't pay somebody to do it, I had Alex, and I'm like, Alex, what would Alex tell me to do?
Figure it out. Go on YouTube.
That's right. So I was like, well, just buckle down and don't be a little bitch, and let's just get it done. And so I sat around and I figured it out, and it took a lot of time, but I did it and I felt so proud of myself. Yay.
As you should. You should. I mean, that's huge, especially with like tech stuff to be able to figure it out. It can be super, super, super intimidating. So I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful that you're doing it too.
I know. Thank you. And I know that you had mentioned Patreon before. So it's now in my mind that maybe we should be thinking about Patreon. So everyone out there, if this is something that you're thinking, hey, maybe I'd kick down a little bit of money just to listen to the Skinfessional podcast, especially if we gave extra tidbits in with that, some membership items, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. If you want some more business stuff or you just want to like hang out with us and learn a little bit more about being a Skinfessional badass, let us know because that's absolutely something that we can make happen if that's something that you would like to do.
Absolutely. And we want to know. So let us know. We are excited about these potential things. And it costs money to do things, which is kind of what this episode is going to be about. So let's get this party started. Hi, I'm Sybil Solon. I'm an esthetician and a spa owner.
And hi, I'm Alex Ellis. I'm a body nerd and wellness expert, and we are business besties.
And bosses. Running your own business, it's hard.
We're terrible employees, so we're going to figure it out.
Clearly, I've already figured it all out. But we promise you everything we know about what it takes to make six figures and beyond.
And be brutally honest about what works and what totally sucks.
I'll be honest, a bunch of this totally sucks. So let's get started. Let's be totally honest right now. We've recorded this 3 times. Yeah, we've had some technical problems on this particular episode. It's been magical.
It's been magical, but you know what? We're still here and we're still moving forward. And if that is not the entrepreneurial spirit, I don't know what is.
Absolutely. And we're talking about magical things today. So let's do this.
We are. On today's show, we're talking about raising your prices for the new year and really the right way to talk about your clients or talk to your clients about the raising of said prices.
And no, not really. We're actually talking about inflation.
Dun, dun, dun.
Honestly, because you're hearing this buzzword everywhere. Inflation. It's all over the place. It's in the news. It's probably sitting around. You're listening to it in coffee shops. Heck, your mom and your grandpa are probably like talking about inflation at the moment.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know. And it feels like too, this like, I almost want to say like this nebulous idea, but you know, I go to ship packages and it's like 3 times more expensive than it was last week. Grocery store stuff is more expensive. Like everything around us that we are purchasing is getting more expensive. So there's no reason why we shouldn't also be raising our prices. But I know you were listening to a podcast. I got an email literally this morning from my chiropractor saying we're raising our prices because, we've been in business for 4 years and it was just me, but now I have a whole team and like, it's really hard. And like, here's all our prices. Like, we're so sorry.
Yeah. So exactly. So I was listening to shout out to one of my favorite podcasts. It's Marketplace Money on NPR. It is a podcast and a radio show. And Kai Risto is so dreamy. He has the best voice and I could just listen to it for hours. Mm-hmm. So I listen to the show mostly for his voice, but also it has the best market, like money information I've ever listened to ever. You always on point. Mm-hmm. But with this particular information, he was talking about how to kind of talk to people about raising your prices. And they were talking about the fact that you should, give people reasons why you're raising your prices. And I was like, no, No, you should not. The idea that you should be apologizing and telling people that you're raising your prices because of X, Y, and Z. No, you should not, because apologizing and telling people reasons just makes them angry and feel stupid. Like, they know what's going on in life. They understand what's happening.
Yeah.
And so I always tell people, I want you to think about that chiropractor's email. Look at how people are dealing with it and think to yourself, maybe don't copy those, but think about how they make you feel.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, at first I felt a little bit left out because there was a mention of like, here's all the prices. And it was, complicated because there's different services.
mm-hmm.
I think, put a link in this email that says like, here's our new price menu. We can't wait to see you again or whatever. So
Yeah.
the person like me who's like, oh, prices are going up. Of course they are. Moving on.
Right.
And the person who wants to know the nitty gritty can go read the nitty gritty. But with all this nitty gritty, I got really confused. And then there was a line about like friends and family price remains the same. And I was like, wait, what?
Right.
Am
Wait,
I friends and family?
Right. Who's friends and family? How come I never was friends and family? Why am I not friends and family? What?
Yeah. How,
FOMO.
do I get that? Massive FOMO. And then that like just seed of doubt, right, in your client's head, then they're maybe not going to come in. Or it also raising your prices. If you say, what do you think about this? Raising prices are going up January 1st. Any packages or whatever booked between now and then will lock in that price. That could be another like revenue generating moment, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so this is the thing. When you're raising prices, I would say look at how people have done them. And then one of my favorite companies that does this well is Starbucks, because if you go into a Starbucks, you walk into a Starbucks and you go in one day and you just look around and you're like, okay, so wait, did this just go up like 25 cents, 30 cents, $1? And they're like, yeah, it did. When did that happen? Yesterday. They don't tell you a thing. They don't like announce it. They're not like, hey everyone, lattes are going up in price. Woo, we're telling you about it. It just happened. Yeah.
It's like the grocery store too. It's like there's no email to tell me that chicken breast prices are going up. I just walk in, I'm like, holy shit, why are they so expensive now?
You're like, oh my God, my turkey was like 32 cents more a pound than I've ever seen it before. Okay, well, I guess that's life. I guess that's life.
Yeah, because you're still going to buy the thing anyways.
Right. Your gas at the pump, you're not like, why didn't someone alert me that it was going to be $4.79 a gallon? Oh my God.
Gas is so awful right now in California. Holy moly.
There's just some things you're used to. So that the fact that we are living in a world where you go to your pizza store and you're like, the pizza person's like, yeah, so we had to raise the price by 25 cents because pizza, cheese is expensive and we had to start paying our employees more money. And by the way, we also have this jar. If you could also donate to them because we can't afford to pay their health insurance and okay, people they will just pay the price you tell them or they won't and they'll leave.
Yep.
That is how it works.
If you have a good product, it kind of doesn't matter.
No.
How much it costs doesn't matter.
It absolutely doesn't. And when you said lock in your revenue, so let's talk about the products on your shelf. So as business owners, we get stuff in and they're like, hey, just so you know, the prices are going up for X, Y, and Z products. So your inventory, you're going to have to go through and up the price on all of your inventory. So how do you handle that? So for me, one of the things I do is I announce to everyone, on this date, my inventory is going up. I have this many of this product left at the old price. Buy it now. Buy it now. Once it's out, it's gone. The new product is going up in price. And that's what I tell all of my people.
There's when I was in, I want to say 8th grade, I took a I think it was a government and maybe marketing class. Anyways, I'm getting to the point. The one lesson I remember from that summer over at Glendale High School is supply and demand. That's how the marketplace works. Yeah. If there's a lot of supply, demand goes down. If there's low supply, demand goes up. So don't try to overcomplicate stuff. I know we've spent 95 episodes talking about things. And if you take all of them at the same time, it can feel very complicated. No. And also transparency. I did the same thing. Hey, I have these balls. They have been broken in for you.
Oh, so good.
Feels so much better. You don't have to go through that awful,
breaking process
to know each other phase. Would you like them? Here's the price. And people just freaking bought them. It didn't matter. So I think we need to just keep it simple, of course, and stop overthinking how this is going to work. Just the price is the price. This is what the thing is. Ta-dum. Here we go. Moving on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for somebody who's listening and is like, oh, I don't know if I can raise my prices. I don't know how to talk to people. It feels really, I'm getting sweaty and I feel nasty about it. I want you to think about the fact that when you chose your pricing, did you sit down and actually say, okay, logically, I chose my pricing based on the amount that it was going to cost me to give this service? Did I think
Mm-hmm.
about my overhead, how much I need to live, the cost of all my employees, the cost of my gas, my utility? Like, did you actually think about the actual pricing, or did you just say, well, I mean, I looked at the prices that I was kind of charging. My friends were kind of charging what I thought like people would pay. And I thought that that was a good price.
Yeah.
Right. Because guess what? That's what most of us do. Don't feel bad. Like, don't like live in shame of this. This is what most of us sit and do. So
Yep.
we look at our like market research, aka our
Mm-hmm.
friends, and we say, would you pay that? Alex, how do you pick most of your pricing?
I usually ask you, would you pay this? And you're
Right.
like, don't ask me those stupid questions. No,
Right.
just price the price.
Right. Well, and this is how we do it. And it's okay. But at some point, you have to then sit down and be like, okay, so now I have real opportunity cost. Now I have costs. I know a cost analysis. I can sit down and say, this is how much stuff costs. And right now, you know for sure that costs are going to be more expensive. Your product is more expensive. Your rent is going up. Your utilities are going up. Your gas is going up. Your cost to live. Remember, you're working to pay your bills and to
Mm-hmm.
live in a good fashion. So
Mm-hmm.
all of those things are going up. So you need to make sure you're making enough money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think too, there's like two, even just what we've talked about, like two kind of schools of thought, right? There's the, I'm going to announce the price is going up so you can take advantage of the supply and demand. And there's
Mm-hmm.
also like the price just went up because I decided the price needed to go up and it went up. So I do private coaching. I set a price kind of based on what I felt comfortable with, what seemed like it would be, good. I did not look at numbers and based it entirely emotionally, but whatever, we picked a price. And then I said to myself, cool, when I reach 4 at this rate, I will raise the price. And then you know what happened? I reached 4. I went to my website. I raised the price. The price was now raised. Everybody I speak to from this point forward gets the new price. I didn't have to announce it because, again, you don't owe your people when it comes to pricing and like putting a roof over your head. You don't owe them an apology. And
Mm.
everybody knows that inflammation, that inflation is happening because we're all living in the same world.
World. Yes, absolutely. And that makes such a good point. So for me, I let people know. I usually put out an email about it. And if I see my clients, I say, hey, just you're gonna see a price increase next month. That's it. Just a price increase. But understand that most people don't read their emails, so they're not ever going to see it. And if I don't see every customer, they're not going to see me the next month and they're not going to know. And if they come in and they ask me any questions, I'll just be like, yeah, the price went up. That's it. Yes, the price went up.
Okay, so what do you say though to the person who's like, Sybil, I got your email and I saw that you said the prices were going up, but I mean, I've been a client for like 15 years. Is there like a friends and family? Like maybe we could just keep my price the same.
So that's always a good one. And so I'm just like, yeah, prices did go up. They did. And every one of my clients is a friend or family. So the price is the price.
Mm-hmm. The price is the price.
The price
I
is the
think too,
price.
sometimes, a way we overcomplicate things is as you're talking, I'm thinking about this as well. It's like, it makes sense when a tangible item, like the price goes up, like,
Mhm.
yeah, because gas is more expensive
Yeah.
and, blah, 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 blah. But it can feel difficult to raise your price because it's your time.
Yes. It's a service. And so that's our service of our
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. But again, you have to be able to pay your bills and to live your life. And you can't be doing that if you're, hand to mouth because you're not charging enough for the service you provide.
Right. That's such a good point, Alex. But if you thought about your service or what you do as an item on your menu that came in and was shipped from a company, would you even have this discussion? We'd be like, I can't raise it. I guess I just have to eat that cost.
Never.
No, not even in a second. You'd be like, well, I
Yeah.
mean, this is the cost it is. This is the cost it is, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And people are welcome to complain. So what I always tell people is listen to them complain. If they want to complain, listen to it. Feel free. Agree with them. Like, I know it sucks. No, I totally understand. It sucks. Mm-hmm. a lot of times people just want to complain. There is a level of complaint. They get to the peak and now they're done. And you've heard all of their complaints and they're finished. And you're like, I know. Thank you. And that's it.
Mhm.
And now they've
Mhm,
done,
mhm.
and that's it. And we're fine now. And I do like to talk about the fact that, I mean, I have a few clients, and I'm going to say this really clearly, a few, for me, two, that they're very special clients to me, as in, like, I know that they give to the community. I know that they really cannot afford to see me anymore. I have priced them out as customers, and yet they are people that are so kind and they give so much back to other people that for me, I still see them at a very discounted rate. And that is a choice that I make as in my way of giving back to them because they give so much to other people.
Mhm.
And so I do not raise my prices for them. That is a choice that you can always make. You are your own business owner. You make your own choices.
Mhm.
If you
Mhm.
find that you're doing this for a bunch of customers, that is a choice you're making. But I ask you, seriously look at what you're doing for your business. But if you do this for a couple people, that is your choice. And that is okay. You are your own business owner. You make your own choices. I do it for two of my customers because they are very kind humans and they really
Yeah.
will not ever be able to see me. And I want them to.
Yeah. I mean, always we have discretion over, what we want to do and how we want to do it. I've done that for members as well who are like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I think I have to cancel. And I'm like, cool, would this price be better for the next couple months if that's what will allow you to continue to get the benefit? Is there some downsell or, just some other option that I can offer you that will allow you to continue to get the benefit at a price point that is better for you? And so I've had clients, stay there for a couple months and then ultimately decide to leave or whatever. But again, I think that yes, you need to have these policies in place so that you can turn to said policies when people want to challenge you and push you.
Mm-hmm.
But you are still a human and you are a compassionate and empathetic human, and
Yes.
you can still run your own damn business however you want to.
You absolutely can. Because I do think that sometimes we can get caught up in like the money aspect or the like those I especially can put on my CEO hat and then I can get blinders on and be like, these are the rules and this is what I do and da da da. And we can't forget that we run a human business. And what is it? The Human First book? Human First?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um
Well, I can't even remember. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that reminds us that we as business owners we get to do what we want to do, and we do have to think about ourselves as a living breathing entity as a business. And if
Yeah.
I try to make sure that I do things in my business that pay it forward. And
Yeah.
so that is something I make sure I do, and for me I pay it forward via a couple of my clients who are just really amazing people who deserve to get really loved and coddled because they give so much to other people.
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
will not put a bunch of clients on my book who do that because I just don't have the space.
No.
Yeah.
No, and also like you're worth it.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to raising prices, there's always this fear of like, well, what if everybody leaves? Or what if, people won't buy it at that rate anymore? Or what if?
Yes. The fears.
And I think sometimes you have to just like try it.
Yeah.
And know that like the number one objection isn't always the cost. There's other
Mm.
reasons people don't buy stuff. Maybe there's not that pressure to do it right now. Maybe it's not that important to them right now. Maybe they just haven't seen the value in
Yeah.
the thing yet. It's not always about money. And so by keeping your prices like super, super low because you feel bad, that doesn't help anybody. And it certainly doesn't help you. And you're the one who is relying on yourself to keep yourself afloat. So take care of yourself first.
Absolutely. Such a good point and so important to make that, so I raised my prices just recently. I raised them a second time within like a 2-month period. And I freaked out, guys. It was really hard. I got a lot of pushback from my clients. My book started emptying. I still haven't fully booked myself again, but it was important that I do it because I saw what was happening. My book was completely full and I saw that kind of the inflation was starting to happen. I saw that my revenue costs were going up again. And I knew that I need to raise before the holidays because I know the holidays are for me the worst time to raise prices. And so I was like,
Mm.
hey, this has to happen. I want it to happen before the new year. Strategically choice that I made. And it hurt. It really hurt. So if you're sitting around being like, I have a lot of distress, just
Hmm.
remember that is normal. If you lose clients, it's okay. A lot of times they still come back. Give them
Mm-hmm.
time. They come back. They might not see you as much, but they still will be your clients.
Mm-hmm.
And also remember that whenever you have space in your on your client book, that leaves room for new people to find you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just new blood will come into your life as well. You are very good at your job. Other people will find you.
Yeah, there's like a billions of people in this world, just think of it that way too. Like how many people are in this world and then we get all tied up on pleasing like, these 300 people or whatever. It's just like there's other people. There's other people who are looking for your services and maybe they can't find you because your books are so full with people who aren't paying you what you're worth, and having some extra time in your schedule would allow you to continue to do outreach and marketing and some of those other things. So there's
Absolutely.
definitely ways to spin it to wrap your head around it.
Mm-hmm.
But raise your damn prices, please.
Raise your
I'm sitting here and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go raise the price on this product like
yeah.
right now.
So raise your prices. Make sure that you're doing the things for the inflation, and make sure you definitely go through. If you're getting those emails from the companies, make sure you go through as soon as you get those emails and start increasing those prices in your stuff now. Go ahead and start putting it in your inventory stock, preparing for it, letting people know this is happening. Don't wait. I know it's a pain. I hate doing it too, but just do it now. You do not want to accidentally start selling product and undercutting yourself. Just
Mm-mm.
don't do it. Don't do it. So, and I want to talk for one other time since I'm here. One of the things that I've been running. So I've been running it for the last year, and I'm at that point now where I can talk about it. Is I had a lot of shipping loss. And Alex, how's your shipping loss been going?
I just had someone steal packages off my front porch and it made me really, really sad. But
We
other than that, it's been okay.
So we could probably do a whole episode of this, but I just want to kind of talk about one of the things that I've been doing with shipping is I actually increased I kind of looked at how much shipping loss I had the year before. And I took the amount that I was losing and I just kind of aggregated that cost through all of my products. So
Mm-hmm.
essentially almost all of my products went up by $5. And I
Mm-hmm.
just increased all my products by $5 to handle that. Now there are a couple of pieces that I increased more because those products seem to get lost more often for some reason. I don't know why, but they always seem to.
Really?
Yeah. So I
Oh,
just
weird.
increased those. Yeah. Do they really get lost or do they maybe get lost? I don't know. Either ways, those higher items seem to get lost more often. So I just increased those by $7. And I aggregated the cost. So essentially, everyone pays a bit more money for my loss. So I stop eating the cost as a business.
Yeah.
And it went fine.
Yep.
Just so
Did
you
you
know,
for
this is how I did it. It went fine. I charged $5 more than everyone else, and it went fine
for products, did you
for
send out like an
products.
email that prices were going up or anything like that?
No, I just did
Yeah.
it. I just did it. I just charged $5 more, and I just did it. And it really is because what happens is if a product gets lost or it's damaged, a client can say it's lost and damaged. And instead of having the conversation, which is awkward and weird, being like, okay, so like, I'm a small business and like, I mean, it's hard for me to pay for your $110 product. So what we can do is we can meet and okay, I can just be like, I can replace that. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's because
That's
I
like,
aggregated it across all of it.
mm-hmm.
And it's mostly worked. I think that my loss this year was like $20 instead of like the amount it was the year before.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I just
actually,
run all those numbers.
I do need to look at that number of like shipping plus the product plus what I'm actually making
Yeah.
and see if we need to raise some prices too. Because shipping be
Mm,
expensive. It's very
yeah. Shipping's
expensive.
expensive, and I'm definitely eating shipping costs this year. We could do a whole thing on shipping. Honest to God, we could do a whole Skin Official episode on
Amazon
shipping.
has really spoiled everyone into thinking that shipping should be free and take 24 hours.
Yeah, it's incredible. Though they don't even take 24 hours anymore. They definitely take longer. But shipping is an incredible expense, guys. It's an incredible expense.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
All
don't even
right.
want to look. I don't want to look.
Well, I hope that this episode has been helpful to you. I hope that you've learned things. I appreciate you all for listening and being with us. And we
Yeah,
have a couple more
absolutely.
episodes before the end of the year, but it's been great.
It's been great. Let's keep it going. And honestly, if you guys want to hang out more and have some like deeper discussions and like get to actually know one another, let us know if you would be interested in a Patreon. Like, we're not kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Planting
We
the
could
seed.
do.
If
Yeah.
you want it, we will make it happen. If there's not interest for it, then we will not make it happen. It's really simple. So
Super easy.
let us know. Are you raising your prices? Do you have questions about raising your prices? Are you ready to join the Skinfessional Badass Gang? Send us a DM or tag us on Instagram. Let us know. The show is at Skinfessional. Sybil is at Skin Fitness Expert. I am at Hala for Mala. Or you can call the Skinfessional box. What's that number, Miss Sybil?
818-473-5277.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone.
Or wait, don't. There's more.
Oh my God,
there's
yes,
more.
We have a whole email now.
We have an email. So if you prefer the electronic mail variety, you can send us a message at skinfessionalpod@gmail.com. That's skinfessional, just like the show, pod@gmail.com.
And luckily, since I started producing this, there's now an email right there. So enjoy that.
Yeah.
Until next week.
Keep your secrets to yourself.
Unless you're telling us.
Okay, bye.